Engaged in a war against government loyalists, the ultranationalist faction of the Russian Civil War sought to re-establish the dignity of the old Soviet Union. In-game, Russia is described as having a Western-aligned government that gutted the nation for the sake of a corrupt few. Under the hand of its leader, Imran Zakhaev, the Russian ultranationalists hope to restore Russia to its former glory, drawing on Marxist-Leninist imagery of a glorious past to relay their legitimacy. There are various ways you can take on an ultranationalist kit. I counted several examples of in-game camouflage variants. Unlike my Nappa video where I pointed out that despite the irregular nature of the average Nappa fighter, he was still armed with some AK variant and clothed in a Fetlek smock. Conversely, the ultranationalist kit varies greatly. Be it their odd choice of weapons ranging from G3s to G36 rifles, or their camo being all over the map, you are permitted a range of creativity with the flexibility of this kit. In my version of the ultranationalist gear set, I hunted far and wide on the internet for the pastel maroon-heavy tigerstripe camo pictured here. I ended up settling for the South African 32 Battalion camo scheme. Underneath the top is a fleece sweater with a popped collar. Aside from being a measure against the cold weather, the devs were under the impression that our Eastern European bad guys needed to share some similarities with their stereotypical Hollywood Rockstar Games counterparts. Over our jacket, we will don a Soviet canvas belt. Though the inclusion of this element could be swapped with more modern tactical belts, the prevalence of anything with Soviet-era symbology speaks to the ideology of the ultranationalist faction. On our belt will be an AKM bayonet and an LMG pouch. You can add additional canvas AKM magazine pouches if needed, but this is up to you. Most tan LBV rigs or any variant of the Chi-Com will suffice for your vest. As you can see from these images, what you wear on your chest will vary similarly to what you will wear for your camo. Black boots or hiking shoes will do for your footwear. I would also recommend adding black or green knee pads for authenticity's sake. Gloves might be the only standardized gear this faction has, and almost all ultranationalists wear darker wrist-length gloves. Following the theme of customizability, headwear also varies. From shimal, beret, gas mask, or balaclava, ultranationalist fighters have their pick of many different items to place on their heads. As cool as it looks, I despise the uncomfortable GP5 gas mask. Your best option is the 3-hole balaclava, or the mask in a comfortable gray toque. Though the loyalist faction wears Ulashankas more often, they do work well here. Overall, the ultranationalist kit is a fun conglomeration of Soviet gear, though with an odd use of foreign camo. While the remaster of the game does away with the foreign camo for Gurkha suits, there is a character behind the ultranationalist design in the original game. Aside from use in winter, the kit is solid for the other seasons of the year. Despite the camo likely being one of the more expensive parts of piecing this together, Soviet gear still goes for cheap. You could probably keep it under $150 when piecing everything together.